welcome to all of you. It's time to talk about the semi-finals. That is right, 4 teams who will be looking to get their hands on the T20 World Cup trophy. We're talking about first India and England, but there is also New Zealand and Pakistan in the first semi-final. What will these teams look to do? How can they win the title? That's what all these teams would be thinking about. And we're talking about that today as well, as to how India can win the World Cup. What is it that India needs to do? What are the things that need to go in India's favor? All of that will be discussed here today on this special How's It that India can win the World Cup. They are already in the semi-finals. They will be playing England at the Adelaide Oval. Remember, Virat Kohli's favorite place is the Adelaide Oval in Australia, where he has played really well. He scores a lot of runs and has recently said that it feels like home. What can he do? What can Suryakumar Yadav do? A lot will depend on these two players. But what are some of the other things that India needs to do? Ashok Malhotra is here with me to talk about it, sir. Let's begin with it then. They play their semi-final against England. They are a good side. They're also a side that seems to be the most flexible side in this tournament. They're batting, they bat deep. Almost everybody in that lineup can bat and can give you quick runs. There are power hitters in that English side. On top of that, they also have a lot of bowling options, and the bowlers have been doing well, with Sam Curran right now, with the best performance with the ball in this World Cup. So this is not going to be easy for India. First, the semi-final against England, and then, of course, we'll talk about the final.
Yeah, definitely. A semi-final, funny World Cup is never going to be easy. You have to be the best on that day. But only thing you can take heart is that you are just two games away from winning the World Cup. So I know that it is very, very crucial game. As you very rightly said, they have England is a side which has got a kind of all bases covered. But the only chink in the armor, Neha, I think, is that they go flat out. There's no half measures. So somewhere along the line, they might score 200 runs if the going is good, but they can get bowled out for 200 also, because they know only one way to play. And if you look at it, their middle order has not been firing, except for Alex Hales and Butler to a certain extent. Others have not been firing, be it Livingston, be it Moeen Ali, be it Dawid Malan or Brooks or even Stokes, although he scored 47 in the last game. But otherwise, they have been a bit iffy. Their batting is a bit suspect. And I think if India puts runs on the board, I don't see this England side chasing the target if you put a good, reasonable total on board. So I think if India wants to win this game, especially in a pressure game, you should put runs on the board and then pressurize the opposition.
In fact, that's the first thing we're going to talk about, because you've led us to that conversation around toss and that being important in Adelaide and Sydney. Sir, I was looking at the stats, and those stats will come up on our screens in just a bit, as to how important toss has been and batting first has been in Sydney and also in Adelaide, where the teams have done well when they have batted first. Take a look at that batting first win-loss ratio in Sydney. It's 5:1, Brisbane 4:3, Adelaide 4:2, which means that 4 matches have been won out of 6 in Adelaide batting first, and 2 have been won chasing. How do you look at that? And the fact that for India, they were being seen as the team that likes to chase, but even batting first, they've managed to win matches and they've done well.
See, they managed to win well batting first, is thanks to Suryakumar Yadav. It's a one-man run machine as of now. If he couldn't have batted, we might have been pulled out for 140, 150, which is below par total. So I think we have to hope and pray that Surya is performing the way he has been performing. But the fact is, I would still prefer India to bat first, put runs on the board, because if you look at England, they are not good chasers of the ball. Like it showed against last game against Bangladesh, where they struggled very, very badly till Ben Stokes bailed them out. So they are a bit tentative when they have a target in front. Yeah. But when they set a target, then they are probably a more aggressive team. Because there's no target, they play freely and they play aggressively. And that is his strategy. That's the way they play their cricket. So I think they would also like to bat first. Although India chases the runs very well. We are probably the best chasers. But I still think that this knockout game, because it's a knockout game, pressure is going to be immense. So somewhere along the line, winning the toss, batting first, putting around the board and putting more pressure on the side is more important.
Now, there was some scary news today in the morning from Adelaide, where one felt that maybe Rohit Sharma, after he got hit in the nets, would not be playing the match, the semi-final. But that's been put to rest because he came back and he trained. He batted in the nets and he looked good and he didn't seem like he was in any apparent pain. But having said that, sir, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, the openers need to fire if India want to win this World Cup, because there will come, hopefully it doesn't, but there will come a point when Suryakumar Yadav may not fire, when Virat Kohli may not fire. Then what happens? Because that's where we seem to have struggled. We were talking about power plays, how India have struggled in it. Openers need to fire if India want to be the world champions.
Definitely so. If they don't fire, it always puts pressure on the middle order. I know Virat has been firing on all cylinders. Surya has been phenomenal, to say the least. Hardik Pandya also chips in. And then, not to forget, they have Rishabh Pant, another one. Is a much better choice than Dinesh Karthik. So they have got 3-4, I would say, match winners: Virat, Surya, Hardik, and Rishabh Pant, who can turn the game on its head. But still, the top order has to fire. If you 6 overs, you get 30, 35, 36, it puts pressure on the middle order. Every time middle order is not going to fire. I know, so somewhere along the line, somebody has to define the roles of both the openers. Who is going to take the bowling on? Who is going to accelerate the run rate, especially in the power play? See, both seem to be in the shed, especially the way KL Rahul opened the last inning with the maiden. You don't start with the maiden in a T20 game. Yeah. So I know he's got 2 back-to-back 50, but they had a strike rate of 100, 105, 106, which is not good enough in T20 format. So somewhere along the line, one, Rohit has to start firing as a play a captain's knock, has to lead from front. And secondly, if KL gets going, he has to play a little bit more aggressive.
That's right. And this strike rate actually goes down in the power play, sir, which is, again, something that you don't want to do as openers in this format, where Rohit Sharma, he's faced 58 balls, 52 runs, striking at 89. KL Rahul, 72 balls, 63 runs, striking at 88. And I think that's where the problem begins, because then the pressure is on the middle order, then the pressure is on Virat Kohli, and more so on Suryakumar Yadav. So far, because of the superhero that Suryakumar Yadav has been in this tournament, we've been saved. But there can come a point when that will not happen, and then India will not want to be below par in these 2 matches. What do you think then is a good score in a knockout match for India if they were to bat first?
I think 160, 170. Minimum 160, 170. And not to forget, mid-wicket boundaries are much short. And they've got a very big donkers. England has very big donkers. If they get off to a good start, like they have been doing, their middle order still can fire. But the fact is, you need at least 170. Batting first, at least 160 to 170 to put pressure on the opposition.
Suryakumar Yadav, his numbers are there for everybody to see on the screen, sir. This has been phenomenal. I mean, we've talked about him forever now. It's amazing how we can keep on talking about him, and yet at times you just cannot describe how incredible his batting has been in this World Cup. Why I'm saying this is, yes, we've seen him bat like this in bilateral series, but a World Cup on a world stage like that, there was every possibility coming into this tournament, sir, that Suryakumar Yadav, wouldn't have been able to replicate his success that he's got in bilateral series here, and on these grounds where he hasn't played before. But to be able to do it, to be able to adapt, to be able to be so confident in his game, I don't know. 2 more matches, sir. 2 more matches, he needs to do it. And I think India will cross the line and will have their hands on that trophy.
He'll be a legend if he plays well in the next two matches, if India ends up winning the match, because this World Cup will belong to Surya Kumar Yadav.
Yeah.
His name will be written in the history books, the way he has been batting. Strike rate of nearly 194 and averaging 75, which is unbelievable to say the least, and that too in T20 game. And the questions are being asked why he was not given chances before, why he has to wait till he was 30 plus. He has been batting like this for a while. First for KKR, then for Mumbai Indians, and I really don't know. Did he waste time in KKR for 5 years, where he was put at number 7, number 8, number 6, number 7, number 8, and not given enough chances? I think somebody has to answer that. But the fact is, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. We keep talking about 360 degrees, Mr. A.B. de Villiers. He never did what Surya Kumar Yadav has done at international level. So for me, he's probably the best, by far, the best T20 player.
Absolutely.
And it's not us talking, it is the entire world is sitting up and taking notice of the unbelievable shots which he has been playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, I mean, Wasim Akram was just saying this, what you'd said about KKR, where he said that, he should have been nurtured when he was in KKR, but it wasn't to be. And then Mumbai Indians, of course, saw what he could do. And now he's come on his own. Now he's a different player. He's a player that someone like a Virat Kohli watches from the other end, just to see how well he's batting. But sir, let's also talk about India's bowling, because there were so many questions around India's bowling before they came into this World Cup. We've had discussions, conversations on whether this team can actually go all the way to win the World Cup. And one of the first things we said was bowling. Bowling needs to come good, otherwise it'll be a problem. Jasprit Bumrah was a huge blow, but this bowling has been phenomenal, and it has been led by the youngest member in this squad, which is Arshdeep. It has been, again, an incredible performance from Arshdeep Singh, and he can be so proud of it for what he has done. I mean, to be able to get 10 wickets, sir. If you look at the four semi-finalists, he is the highest wicket taker along with Sam Curran. This is his first World Cup. More than that, this is his first season in international cricket.
See, initially when we talked, I always said it's a blessing in disguise that Harshit Patel got injured. Because Harshit Patel got injured, that is why Arshdeep was drafted in. Otherwise, they were not even looking at him. And how well he is coming. He has grabbed his chances with both hands. If Surya is our batting mainstay, Arshdeep is our bowling mainstay. And how well he is bowled. Magnificently bowls well in the power play, bowls well in the slows, and he's go-to-man as far as Rohit Sharma is concerned. We kept talking about Bhubi, we kept talking about Shami, but he really went under the radar. And how well he has impressed everybody with his bowling. Now even Akram says, he reminds me of me in my younger days and everything. Now once Edana's success has many fathers. So it is what is happening to Arshdeep, but he was always there. He was always around. But he's been phenomenal to say the least. But both these guys, Surya and Arshdeep, if can do this in semi-finals and finals and win the World Cup, I think they will be, legends, at least for coming 2-3 years.
For a lot of people, sir, you've actually, this can be a conversation now around who has been, I mean, I know that everybody looks at Surya Kumar Yadav this whole year and said, wow, the incredible Surya Kumar Yadav. But if there's another person who can be right there with him or possibly above him, given that he is doing this without Jasprit Bumrah, it is Arshdeep Singh. Surya Kumar Yadav still has support from a lot of others, but Arshdeep, to be able to do it like this, the whole year he's been phenomenal in the death overs, has gotten trolled because he dropped that catch, has been hit for runs, but come back and, nail those Yorkers, has kept bowling well. I feel like he's right up there as well as the most, as the standout player really, along with Surya Kumar Yadav for India this year.
Yeah, definitely. Even in Asia Cup, where he was trolled for dropping the catch, he bowled last overs, and he was defending 6 runs, 8 runs. He almost did it.
Yeah.
He almost did it. So that showed how good he was in the slog overs, because he can nail the Yorkers. He can bowl the slow deliveries, and he's a if Surya is a 360-degree man, so is I would say Arshdeep Singh. He's also phenomenal. He's an all-round bowler. He's not a one-dimensional bowler. He's an all-round bowler. So definitely, I mean, this has been a huge, huge plus. And believe you me, I will keep shouting from the rooftop the injury to Harshal Patel turn things in Arshdeep's favor and half.
Yeah. The other thing being, sir, the one match that India lost against South Africa, a lot of it was not being able to grab some of those moments on the field. Something that India rectified from there on. But again, high pressure games, it's also about those little moments, you know, not dropping catches, not letting the opposition run away with 2 extra runs. All of that will also be extremely important for India if they are to win the World Cup, where they just have to be turned on in the field from the word go.
Yeah, definitely. Fielding is a very big plus. You know, catches are a very old saying, catches win matches. And, you know, even if you and T20 cricket, if you don't run out when the opportunity arises, then you missed an opportunity. And most of the modern day cricketers, they specialize in hitting the stumps directly. You know, so if you miss out the way Rohit Sharma missed out in the last game, the way Virat dropped a sitter, you know, these are a no-no now. Because these are crunch games. These are knockout games. You can't have this kind of a misfielding or missing the runouts or catches. So that is going to be very, very vital because it's you can play as well as you can. But these 2 matches, that one day, I mean, if on the 10th, India has to be at its best. Bowling, batting, fielding, if we have to get to the finals, because India, I would say our major hurdle comes in the semi-finals because we tend to lose. We are probably the best team on the bar, the best team in the tournament, but then we end up losing the semi-finals. So I hope they are careful. They are, you know, all clued up. They're all waiting to fire on all cylinders.
Yeah. Okay, now the big question, and the question that I already know the answer to from you, which is Dinesh Karthik versus Rishabh Pant. That's something that a lot of former cricketers are now talking about after Rishabh Pant was given an opportunity against Zimbabwe. Didn't do much, but it's not that Karthik has been able to do a lot more than him after having been given many opportunities, in fact, other than Rishabh Pant. So the thing that I'm asking now is that something that India will look to do, given that 5 of the 6 slower bowlers left in the tournament all moved their ball away from the right-handers. And, you know, I think Moeen Ali, the only one, Shadab Khan, you know, in this match against England, Adil Rashid being another one. So that, and Adil Rashid's been bowling well. He may not have got as many wickets, but he's been bowling well. So keeping all of that in mind, that left-handed option, would you want to go in with Rishabh Pant? In a crucial match, why I'm also asking you this is that now you're putting him under pressure. This match is a do-or-die match. You've told him throughout the year that, look, we don't need you. We need Dinesh Karthik, but suddenly now we need you. So, you know, so in the biggest match of your career, so now go help us win. So keeping all of that in mind, do you think India should play Rishabh Pant?
Without a doubt. And it's not us talking there. It is the entire world talking.
Yeah.
You know, and our talking probably, it was not getting into their ears. Now the noise has got so louder. Yeah. Everybody around the world, around the globe, is talking, where is Rishabh Pant? Why are you not playing Rishabh Pant, who has done so well in Australia? Yeah. And plus, he's a match winner. You're forgetting that he's a match winner. He can turn things around. Okay, he hasn't played well, but you really let him down, if I may say. Now, I don't know what kind of an excuse Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma will have to play Rishabh Pant. You know, and why did they carry on with Dinesh Karthik? Because Rishabh Pant is a match, as you said, and plus a left-hander. And then wrist spinners, he can go for very many. Okay, he got out in the last one, but he had the intent to go for big one. And if he's 1-6, he clears 1-6, then you'll see many more coming. So I know that he is under pressure, but pressure is the name of the game. I understand that he might be out there to prove a point. It happened to him when he went to Australia. KL Rahul was the wicket keeper, and he was put on the sidelines. But when he came back, and how he wanted to prove a point. So maybe you never know. There are 2 matches still to go. You might see Rishabh Pant's magic in the semi-final or final and turning things around. And I will. There's no 2 ways about it. Now, Rahul Dravid, even if he wants, he cannot drop it. Full stop. He has changed of heart. He realized that they have made a mistake. They might not agree or not, but the fact is they have made a huge, huge mistake.
Yeah, and you've been saying it all along. From the beginning, from the very beginning, you've been saying there is no way they should play Dinesh Karthik in this World Cup. But here we are in the hope that Rishabh Pant will play the semi-finals. Thank you so much, Ashok sir, for joining us here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's it then. How can India win the World Cup? Hope you enjoyed this special. News 9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for more such shows. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.